What's up, guys? So I just wanted to make this video while everything is still fresh in my mind. This will be, a completely unscripted video, so, it might be all over the place, but Switch 2 just got revealed officially by Nintendo yesterday, April 2nd, 2025, to, I believe, a pretty good reception until we found out the price. And that's been the big talking point with the Switch 2 right now. Is the system itself looks really cool, the games look really cool, but the price is kind of steep, especially for the games as well. So the big thing that I think a lot of people are complaining about, and I'll pull it up now, is we get a June release date, which is hype because it's only 2 months away, but the Switch is starting at $449, which is a significant markup from the Nintendo Switch that came out, 2017? And a lot of fans are actually very upset about this, myself included. It's not as expensive as a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox, but, not to be that one guy, but it's probably not as powerful as those systems. Do I think it's obviously more powerful than the Switch one? Yes. They proved it without a shadow of a doubt. It is more powerful. We got a lot of info on some ports like Elden Ring, which is really cool. I'm very excited for that. I probably won't get it, but I know a lot of fans of the Souls-like games will probably get on Switch 2, because why not? Some big games that did get announced, which I am very excited for, is the Mario Kart World, and mainly just the Donkey Kong Bonanza and Kirby Air Riders. And the games are great and all, look fantastic, but it just goes back to the price point. I don't want to harp on this too long, because I know a lot of people are complaining about it, and there's going to be some people like, oh, it's not that expensive, get a job, whatnot. But Mario Kart World, as of right now, sits at $80 retail, which is kinda nuts. I love Mario Kart. I'm sure we all love Mario Kart, and as a launch title, I think it's a pretty good launch title. I'm still shocked that there's no 3D Mario game, like a Mario Odyssey or even like a Zelda that isn't just a port to the Switch 2, but $80 for Mario Kart? I'll probably still get it. I love Nintendo, but it's one of those purchases where I feel like I really have to think about it. I usually get Nintendo consoles day one, but the Switch 2 might not be a day one purchase for me. I'm excited for the console, I really am, but the price of the console in addition to the price of the games, because Nintendo, they're saying the precedent here. They skipped over the $70 mark and went straight to $80. Now, saying that Donkey Kong is $70, but it's also, why is that 70 and why is Mario Kart 80? Why are some games more expensive than others? So it's kind of just figuring out why that is. Like Street Fighter Year 6 1 to 2 Fighters Edition is $60, but then Breath of the Wild, which was a game that came out in 2017, is $70. Kirby in the Forgotten Land is $80. Bravely Default, $40. The Super Mario Jamboree, $80. Here's the Kingdom, $80. You see where we're going with this? It's just, it's mainly the price point. I think a lot of people are having negative responses to. But not to harp on that, I want to move on to the good. We get the bad out of the way now. Let's talk about the good. So I think Mario Kart looks fantastic. Kirby Air Ride finally gets a sequel after, 20 plus years, which is nuts. I love Kirby Air Ride. We get the Nintendo GameCube, pretty much virtual console. So the games they revealed, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, even Pokemon Colosseum. So I'm very excited that people get a chance to play that and not have to go through the hassle of, emulating. I know it's not super hard to emulate, but it is frowned upon. A big thing that I think the Direct spent a little too much time on was the Nintendo Switch 2 camera and the game chat feature. It's kind of strange that, Xbox and PlayStation integrate Discord pretty seamlessly. Why can't Nintendo? I'm not sure if they hate Discord or you have to have some sort of partnership with them, but the Switch camera and game chat, it's a cool little gimmick, I suppose, but I don't think it's going to be used that much, and I think a lot of those cameras are only sitting on the shelves collecting dust. I could be wrong. People can eat them up, but I'm sure, you know, the way Nintendo is with their voice chat policies, whatnot, I'm sure people get potentially in trouble or banned for cussing in a Mario Kart game, or I'm sure people will show weird things on the camera. Hopefully not, but people are freaks out there. So the camera, I just think they spent a little too much time. I think the paid demo game is very odd. You know, with the Wii, we got Wii Sports. I can't really remember if the Wii U got anything, but typically a Nintendo console, when it drops, if it has a demo-like game, it typically is shipped with the console for free, and they're giving us a paid, like, demo game where you can kind of learn about the Switch 2. I think that's incredibly stupid. If you think that's a good thing, by all means. But PlayStation has, like, Astro's Playroom, which is completely free with the system, and that game was so good, they made Astro Bot, which went on to win Game of the Year. So, I don't think this game is going to win any sort of accolades or achieve any Game of the Years, but if you pay for it, you know, that's all on you. Congratulations. I'm probably going to skip over that. I don't need to pay for a demo of a Switch 2. I just think that's kind of weird. Next up, I want to discuss is the game card system. So I collect physical. I'm always about physical copies of games. I feel like owning the game itself, especially with some companies saying that when you buy digitally, you're kind of renting the game. I'm not a fan of that, so I always go physical. And I know a controversial topic is the game key card that Nintendo is introducing, which basically it checks for a license to download the game onto your Switch 2. And you could argue, oh, well, when you buy a disc or, you know, a game, when you download it, it's kind of the same thing. I'm sure, yes, you can argue that, and I'm sure it's the same way. I'm sure we'll learn more information about it. But just something to consider, you know, our physical collectors out there, just, you know, be wary of some games might not be there. They're empty game cards that just have a license code. Or I know BioShock did it with the Switch, where it kind of just came with a slip that had a download code on it, but you still get the case. Not exactly the same thing, but similar, I suppose, in some instances. A big thing I want to note is the Nintendo GameCube controller adapter is compatible with the Switch 2. Very excited for that. I exclusively use GameCube controller when I play my Switch, if I can. I know some games don't allow it, but for Mario Kart, GameCube controller all day. I think it's the best way to play Mario Kart and Smash and, you know, whatnot. That's a very positive thing. And something I wanted to do as well was, after the presentation, you know, had some time to marinate, I want to ask my community what their thoughts were on the Switch 2 presentation, you know, price point, exclusives, and whatnot. So right now, I just want to go over just some of their comments. You know, I appreciate everyone that did it. Some people wanted their names to not be included, so I respected that. Some people didn't care. So the first one I really want to go over is one of my buddies did mention this, and he said their exclusives are good, but never devalue, and for the quality that they make them at now, i.e. Legends of Arceus and Scarlet Violet, I don't see an improvement or value in purchasing anything more because they just repackage the same game 20 times over with minor to little change other than a fresh coat of paint and the equivalent of a new heat seater or a cup holder add-on. The biggest spin in the face, in my opinion, was Tears of the Kingdom. It was the same game given there was a new system with a building construction aspect as well as a new traversal option, but just the same world, same everything. The biggest thing I wish they'd done was focus on the underground. Was my favorite part of the game, which I do agree with this. I think Tears of the Kingdom should have been a DLC. I love Zelda. I'm not the biggest fan of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I'm a classic Zelda guy, but I do agree with this user wholeheartedly. This should have been a DLC. I think Tears of the Kingdom it's just Breath of the Wild with a few added areas and a new mechanic. I did not complete Tears of the Kingdom. I could not find in my heart to complete that, and I really did try. I just got really bored because we've done it already. We've explored that version of Hyrule already to an uncomfortable extent. So that was a very, I agree with a lot of what that user was saying. Right here, one of my good buddies who makes music, by the way, if you're interested in music, I'll leave his link in the description. He said there were some moments in Direct that were a miss, but overall, I thought it had a lot of hype moments that made me excited for the release date. The pricing of the games being all over the place is baffling to me, but also is bound to happen once other gaming companies start raising their prices as well. My absolute favorite moment was Silksong being shown for like 5 seconds after all the waiting. Yeah, Silksong, it says 2025, but we'll see. I love Hollow Knight, and I pray Silksong actually comes out in 2025, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Don't give me hope. Do not give me hope. Until the day it shows up, that's it. Another user here, the C button is to access chat on the controller. Yeah, so the GameCube controller that they're releasing and the Switch Joy-Cons, and I assume the Pro controller, all have a C button, but you need to pay for that chat service to use it, so it's a useless button unless you pay for it, which you just pay for Nintendo Switch Online, but that's just another subscription service on top of other gaming services, Netflix, Hulu, ESPN, all your streaming services, so it's just another monthly charge. So it is interesting that they kind of put a quote-unquote dead button on a controller. And both times Switch 2 trailer came out, Nintendo stock went down. That's very interesting. I did not know that. And if that's true, that is kind of crazy. Their big reveal, and the stocks react negatively. So we'll see when the console releases. I'm sure it'll be sold out. I'm sure scalpers will try to get a hold of it. I remember when the Switch first dropped, it was really tough to get one. I had to jump through hoops. I actually knew someone at a store that hid one for me, and I rushed over to get it as fast as I could. The last few comments I wanted to go over. This really sets a bad precedent, because if Nintendo is able to pull this off and the game is a success, then other companies are going to follow suit, not to mention Rockstar, if the rumors are true, are planning to price GTA 6 around $100, which I hope that's not the case. If both games succeed at pulling off this price hike, we're definitely in trouble. The higher price for Switch, I can understand, is due to new hardware, and the ongoing trade war ain't helping. Now I'm worried about Legends EA and might wait to get it at GameStop that's pre-owned, and even then, it might not be better. So, I have been seeing that a lot. A lot of people, not just people in my community, but on Twitter, on Discords, Reddit, a lot of people said they'd rather wait for pre-owned, which, is fair. I don't mind that. As long as I get a physical copy, I'm happy, but I'm very curious, after the Switch 2 comes out, we wait a few months, maybe August, September, I'm curious how many pre-owned Switch 2s will be being on those shelves at GameStop or pre-owned games. I am very curious. And second to last comment I want to go over here, by Mr. Prof. Mario Kart World is going to be amazing with the free roam, which I agree with. I think that's pretty sweet, though. I also feel that having games be made for Switch and then making Switch 2 versions is cool, but also why? Just push the games to Switch 2. Yeah, so there is an upgrade charge that they are charging to get a Switch 2 version if you want to upgrade your game. And I've read that it's free for Nintendo Switch Online users, but if you don't have that subscription, you're looking at between $10, $15, $20 to upgrade your game to the Switch 2 version, which could include, upgrade frame rates, a little better graphical, better performance, but still, you already paid $60-$70 for the game years ago, and then to upgrade it, $10-$20 additional dollars, it just seems a little money hungry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Also excited for the new DK game. Hopefully it doesn't flop like the last one that they released. I didn't know they released a Donkey Kong game. I'll be honest, I did not even know that, so I guess it did flop. Who knows? End of the day, I feel like that they should have focused more on Switch 2 exclusive games instead of being like, oh, these games will be remastered special things. Oh, this game will also be on Switch, but different things on Switch 2. I do agree with that. Like I said, I was shocked no 3D Mario game and no sort of new announcements for like a new Zelda. We did get a Hyrule Warriors Breath of the Wild edition. I don't really consider that's not mainline. I don't consider that really important. I know people love those games. Good for you, but me myself and I know a lot of fans don't really care about those games. They're fun, but don't really care about them. We'll have to see what other games come out, but Mario Kart World, Metroid Prime, and Pokemon would be enough to have me. Yeah, I forgot to mention Metroid Prime 4 is coming out on Switch 2 and Switch. I don't really play the Metroid games, so I can't really say I'm very excited, but I'm sure it'll be really cool. And Kirby, I'm not going to say Air Ride 2. Cannot wait for that. That was the biggest reveal of the Direct for me, without question. Without question. And the last comment I want to go over is from a good user, a good buddy of mine. He says, Nintendo could charge $600 for this console and I still buy it. GameCube Virtual Console, new Mario Kart looks great. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom remasters. Well, I don't think they're remasters, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Kirby Air Ride 2, Donkey Kong, Odyssey. Yep, I'm excited for that. Like I said, care less about price because I believe the value of the product is worth the investment to enjoy hundreds, if not thousands of hours worth of content. Best Direct they've made in years, by the way. Honestly, I would say Direct-wise, yeah. I wasn't underwhelmed. I wasn't overwhelmed. I was whelmed by the Direct. And I thought it had a lot of really good high points. Like I said, I think they spent way too much time. I think they spent around 10 minutes on the game chat and the camera feature, and that's just silly. I think that was just too much time to spend on a feature that probably less than 5% of the playing population will probably use. Most parents won't let their kids use it. I know adults like myself and others are probably not going to use it because we have Discord. Discord is just so superior. It's the best way to chat with friends online now, without question. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Switch 2? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Would you care less? Does the price affect it? Overall, I know I'm pretty excited for it. Price is annoying, but you know, is what it is. You gotta pay for fun. And I do agree with what Jacob did say. The games do hold their value. They're always masterpieces. Nintendo has the best exclusive IPs in the game. You know, argue with a wall. I will stand by that. Till the day I drop off this planet, their IPs are the best. And in this case, you know, sometimes it can be unfortunate with the price, but yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. If they're sold out everywhere, then Nintendo will probably charge $600 for their next console. Who knows? Who knows? But like I said, very informative video. Just wanted to throw this together while everything is fresh in my mind. If you have any thoughts, comments, feel free to drop them below. Let me know what you think about the Switch 2, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace, peace, peace.